Welcome everybody, I am Alexander Linz, head of content of WatchAdvisor.com, and as you can see I am with Zenith Baselworld 2019, and in front of me finally we have the entire setup of the anniversary box that Zenith has put together, and we are able to show it to you. It was a pretty difficult exercise because this box everybody wants to see. Why? 50 of them are going to be made. It's the 50th anniversary of the El Primero that was initially produced in 1969 and then presented as the first chronograph with an automatic winding system. You of course know the El Primero is the chronograph which is able to measure the 1/10 of a second compared to all others who measure 1/6, 1/8 of a second whatsoever. They are not usable in real life, but the El Primero, due to the fact that the escapement, the balance wheel oscillates at a frequency of 36,000 amplifications per half amplifications per hour. So you have 1/5 of a second, 1/10 of a second, of course, and it's a 5 Hertz movement. To celebrate this milestone in terms of watchmaking, they made a box and there are 3 watches included. There is a kind of a replica, a re-edition of the watch that was made in 1969. So you get the past in a new version, of course. It's a replica in steel, and you only get this version in steel. If you buy the box, there is no way to get this watch unless you buy it. The second step in the box included is the new 3600 El Primero movement. That's the new El Primero that has been now presented, not officially yet, because they're going to launch it only end of the year. But it's the 3600 movement that will replace little by little the one used today. They have been changing a few parts. They have been modernizing the movement. They have been modernizing the way how to assemble the movement, simply bringing modern technology in that famous movement, in the famous chronograph caliber. But it's still, of course, the El Primero movement. You will recognize it. The architecture hasn't changed. It stays what it is. It has a little bit more power reserve. Some things have been optimized, so the movement has been modernized. It's the 3600, and it will not be launched before September, October this year, officially in some other watches with a ceramic bezel. So if you buy this set here, this watch is included, and of course the Defy 21. That's how Zenith is accelerating the speed, literally the speed of the hand on the dial. You're measuring 1/10 of a second, you're measuring 1/10 of a second, and with the Defy 21, why 21, 21st century? So they brought the El Primero movement into the 21st century. This watch is measuring the 1/100th of a second, 1/100th of a second. The minute hand is really swiping in ultra speed over the dial. And there is one little place left. Why? Because not even Zenith today knows what watch will be there once, but I assume 1/10, 100, I assume 1/1000th of a second. It's only a guess, but I would say it makes sense. So I think we could see the 1/1000th of a second on the wrist in the near future there. And those who buy this set are those privileged to get the watch first. So they have a first right of buying it. It's not included in the price. So for the 45,000 euros you pay for this set, the watch in the box where there is no watch is not included. But you have the right, and you're one of the privileged then, to get the watch first. So you get the original re-edition, you get the new 3600 movement in a new version of the El Primero and the Defy 21. And of course, because it's fun and it's good, you have a kind of a setup. If you close the little box, you have the kind of a setup of a watchmaker's table. You can play around with a movement, you can wind it, and then you can see how the El Primero, the basic functions, the basic gear trains work. And the really cool thing is, and I will just try to summarize it in a very quick. If you buy the box, you are going to be invited at the Zenith headquarters. You will have an exclusive dinner. You will be able, with a tooling from 1969, to stamp out an individual part. There is a whole program included, really fun for watch collectors. The CEO, Julien Tornat, will be there. It's a whole package, and if you're interested to know exactly what's going on, please check out our video we taped in Le Locle in February when we visited Zenith, and where we told and where we tried to narrate the story how the El Primero movement survived, because there was a guy called Charles Vermont who was hiding all the tools. But why did he do that? Because the former owners, it was in a quartz crisis in 1970, the former owners of the company, as an American holding company, they asked Charles Vermont to destroy everything that is linked to mechanical movements, because these guys believed in quartz. And if there wouldn't have been Charles Vermont to save everything, I don't think that we would see the El Primero these days. So great, thank you, Charles Vermont. You were a great guy, I have to say, chapeau. Huh? And so you get all these things. Look at the video. In the video at the end, I'm sitting together with Romain Mazzilli, and he will tell you the story. We were talking, and you get the entire story about that wonderful box here. As I told you, 3 watches, 45,000 euros, 50 boxes. Then there's one left, and I think the 1,000th of a second, it will be the one that will fill in once there. So thank you very much for watching. This is the anniversary box. I close it now. Of Zenith. Very nice. I take one with me. That's the gift now. It would be nice. Yeah. Unfortunately not, but thanks for watching. If you like what we're doing, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to like our videos, of course. And if you have questions about Zenith, about the history, about the other video with Charles Vermont, ask me, ask us. I will be happy to answer your questions. Use the comment function just underneath here. And thank you very much for watching. And don't forget to also check out what we're doing on Instagram and on Facebook. Bye-bye.